Hey, what's up, fam? We're back. We got a full show planned for you. But before we do, check out this video from my girl and 49ers fan, 49ers faithful, Michelle from Shell's Photography. Hey, what's up, fam? Welcome to another episode of 49 Faithfullee. We're your hosts, Miriah Lee and Teran Lewis. TL, welcome back. It feels like I haven't seen you in forever.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm doing good. So yeah, I appreciate everybody who are thinking about me. So yeah, I appreciate every one of you. Real quick, I see that Tia's in here already. Did you let me know if you got your package? Because I didn't track it or nothing like that. But I sent it to the address that you DM me. So I just want to make sure you, Shachi, and David McNew all got your stuff. So
Yep. I wanted to show my girl some love, show her video. Make sure you guys follow her. Her info is at the bottom of the screen right now at RedJetGirl15 on Twitter. Red Jet Shell. She is Shell's Photography. She does a lot of 49er related, Bay Area related photography. So make sure you guys go check her out. But yeah, what's up to everybody in the chat? Ty, first in the door, appreciate you. Tia, Denise, what's up, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well. So yeah, obviously, you were going through some stuff, so we haven't got to hear, your reaction or anything about the loss to the Bears, which none of us were expecting, or that's kind of like a gut punch. Maybe that's why you weren't feeling so well, because you knew it was on the horizon. And now that I've had some time to watch the game again and calmly think about things, and so let's jump into how you feel about the loss, how you feel how the game went. Before you get started, I do want to say, it's funny that going into this season, we heard even from Kyle about how, this isn't all on Trey. He has a great team around him. All we keep hearing about is, oh, why would the 49ers go with Trey Lance? They have a Super Bowl roster. They have a ready to win Super Bowl roster, right? So we go into this game, even all the players have come out and said, well, this isn't all on Trey. He has a lot of talent around him that, he just has to be Trey and not make mistakes and whatever. And, we can win this. We've seen in the past that this team has been carried by their defense and run game. So we go into week one, and the team around Trey plays like shit. And Trey is the one that gets the most criticism. It's already people calling to bench Trey. Trey sucks. Trey's a bust. Trey couldn't play when the team needed him. Yet, we had a shit game from everybody around him. We gave up 99 yards and penalties. You can't win a football game when you're giving the other team 100 yards. We beat them in all statistical categories and handed them 100 yards, which let them beat us. Like, the defense let Trey down. The run game let Trey down. Deebo Samuel, the guy that didn't want to show up to do anything this offseason because he wanted to get paid, was the first one to let Trey down. This team showed up unready, like they were not prepared. They were sloppy. The weather was sloppy. Everything was sloppy. Yet Trey is the one that gets criticized for everything. So, what were your thoughts on how this game was?
Well, to start things off, I in the beginning when we did our predictions, I said the Niners were going to go 11-6 because I thought there was going to be a game that they were going to lose that they were supposed to win. Didn't think it was going to come this early. So I feel like it had to happen.
Yep.
I'm glad it happened in week one. I hope it humbled this team to sit there and be like, we need to get our stuff together. You know what I mean? We're a Super Bowl roster, like we all know, and for you to go and lay an egg against a team like that is horrendous. I'm sorry, like that was a pitiful showing of a game. And I felt, I didn't get to really watch the game much, but when I saw it, I feel like Debo fumbling took away all the momentum. Like I feel like if he would have, I feel like if he would have scored on that first touchdown, it would have. I think the game would have been over. I think it would have. Took all the air out of the Chicago Bears.
Yep.
But because he fumbled right, in the 5, like it was in the 10-yard line, right? It was close. I know he was close.
Yeah.
Like, I know it was in the red zone. I think it was.
Yep.
I think it was after the 10. So I think it gave Bears some life. And then so we're until we're talking on Spaces, weeks ago, and Roscoe said it. Shout out to Roscoe. He said it. He was like, regardless of whether we like it or not, Jimmy and Trey are always going to be linked together. We're always going to see until Trey either takes us to a Super Bowl or the NFC Championship. They're always going to be linked and always going to be saying how Jimmy is better. Obviously, the casuals will say this, and not the true fans. The people who actually know football won't say this, but the casuals will sit there and say like, oh, we need to get Jimmy and get Jimmy in this and that. If you look at that game and you feel like that loss is on Trey, then you don't know football. That game was not on him at all. So, and one of the things I saw, offensive line played poorly. My boy Elijah Mitchell, he's officially injury prone. I'm sorry, like he just cannot stay healthy. He was injured 4 times last year. He's injured already. First game of the season, he was running the ball very well.
Yeah.
So very unfortunate that it happened. That he got hurt and stuff like that. But I'm just glad it happened week one. I'm glad we got it out the way. So now let's go and run the table. I hope this loss pissed them all off where they're like, you know what, screw this. We're going to go out there and do our thing. And one thing I want to mention, too, is that offensive line, like I said, played poorly. And I've been saying this, and I was watching I watched a little bit of Grant and Jesse for the late night after dark, wherever the case may be. And shout out to Jesse, because me and him been saying this, and I think a couple other people, too. I'm not going to take all the credit, but I've been saying this for months. That not only, and I get it, I do agree, we do have a Super Bowl roster, but when you start messing with that offensive line and you put in 3 new starters to go along with the starting quarterback, there's going to be more bumps than there is positivity. Because now not only do you have Trey with a learning curve, now you got 4 offensive players with a learning curve. And that's not usually recipe for success. I think they can turn it around. I'm not writing them off. I still think they can get to a Super Bowl. But, it just, every time I look at this team and I look at, Jimmy still being on it, and I know this ain't a Jimmy show. Every time Jimmy's on it, it pisses me off because I'll sit back and I'll say it every time. Him still being on his team and not getting rid of him hurt the fact that we can go and get these offensive, linemen who are veterans, so it wouldn't be so much of a learning curve for a first-year starting quarterback. I don't think that's fair to Trey, that his offensive line is worse than Jimmy's when he's a first-year starter. We literally have 3 new starters on that offensive line, and it didn't look good. So, yeah, defense was supposed to be our strength, but we got 2 sacks. That's crazy to me. I expected at least 5 or 6.
We were talking over and unders. 5,
yeah, I thought at least 5. And then of all people, I sit there and I made fun of him, and then you got people like Dante Pettis wide open to score a touchdown. Like that was the worst. Yeah, it made me sick too. I was like, of all people, Dante Pettis scored a touchdown on us. So yeah, I'm like I said, I don't know, keep beating a dead horse. I'm glad it happened. Honestly, I think we needed it. I'm glad that. I hope this humbled them. I hope on the flight back to California, they're sitting there like, man, did we really get beaten by these bums? And I don't care if they beat us; they're still bums. I don't think it's a good football team.
Right.
So we got beat by some bums. And I know when I played football and we lost a game that we shouldn't have lost, it made us better because we're like, I can't believe we did this. Because sometimes you get in over your head and you think you got the W before you even step on the field. So those are my thoughts about this game.
Something that was talked about leading up to this game was that Kyle Shanahan, since he's been with us, and I don't know about, prior to that, but we'll just talk about with us because that's the time since he's been a head coach. Always comes out and starts slow in week one. And lately, the last few years, since, probably let's say 2020 with COVID and everything, the way that Kyle, like part of our team, like they haven't even played since what, January, February of of this year. Like they haven't been hit by real football players. This whole team hasn't played together at all. Like, we still had people of this offensive line that didn't play any of the preseason. So it's like, how do you expect this team to go out and be ready and be able to play as a team, the O-line especially, when they haven't even played together? It's like I told you before off show, there was like 5 or 6 teams that came out, opening week that should have won, that came out and played like shit. And though all those teams, they don't play half of their freaking team during the preseason either. So I don't know. Like they need to really figure out this preseason thing. Like we can't keep using week one as preseason.
No.
Having the team get on the right path during week one and starting the year off with a freaking loss. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just crazy to me. Like, I just feel like, people criticize Kyle for his play calling during this game, which I didn't think his play calling was bad. What I am criticizing Kyle for is for not having this team ready. All those penalties, that's on you, Kyle.
Absolutely.
This team came out and looked like they haven't played a single freaking tick of football since whenever we last played in whatever, the end of January.
Wherever. Yeah. Very undisciplined.
Yeah. Like, I cannot believe it. Dre Greenlaw, like, oh my goodness. Like, we talked about, going, who are they going to keep? Aziz and Greenlaw? If Greenlaw keeps coming out and playing like that, it's sure the fuck ain't going to be him.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Have this team stopped on third and whatever, and you guys give up a 15-yard penalty, and then they go down the field and score each freaking time. Like that's, and yet Trey gets blamed for that. Like, I don't know. Shit's crazy.
Yeah. And you know what I will say too, and everybody kept saying, and this is not about Trey, this is about the whole team. Everybody kept saying, well, the Niners were playing in a monsoon, and I don't care. The Bears had to play in it too.
Exactly.
Bears had to play in it too. So don't use that as an excuse about a monsoon. It's like there's other 22 players that played in it as well. So don't use that monsoon as an excuse. We can't keep using that as an excuse because we go to Chicago, we lose to a team that we should have beat by at least 2 scores at minimum in a monsoon. Then we play at home. We lose at home to a Colts team that plays in a dome in a monsoon. So I don't want to hear this foolishness of, well, the weather. Nah, you come to play. You come to play regardless of the conditions. So
yeah, at the end of the day, your playmakers have to make plays, regardless of the circumstances around. Like, that's what they get paid for. Yeah. For the defense, like, disappeared during the second half, except for when they were making penalties. Like,
yeah.
And we can say, blame the refs, whatever. No. Like, you guys are putting yourself in position for those refs to even make those calls to begin with. So, yeah, we can say maybe 3 of those calls, okay, were bullshit. Well, the rest weren't.
Yeah.
So, the face mask by Dre Greenlaw, he even admitted, I felt his face mask, and then as soon as I did, I slid my hand off. Well, that's not what the rules state. The rules state is you have the face mask, that's fucking flag, so.
Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy. Trent Williams, like, that's the worst game I've ever seen from Trent Williams. And that's another person that hasn't played since freaking January. Like, what's your, did you see, and obviously you probably did, but where Mike McGlinchey gets beat, of course, for a sack. Trey gets sacked, and Mike looks at him, and him and Trent run off the field and don't help Trey up.
I saw that.
What are your thoughts on that?
Honestly, I don't know. A little weird. I know Trey did get up pretty quick. I don't want to make excuses for anybody, and I don't want to pass judgment either because I honestly don't know. But regardless, any teammates on the floor, you put a hand out to help them up, regardless. So the fact that it didn't happen between, your captain on your offensive line, arguably the best player on the team, didn't do it. And then for Mike McGlinchey to look at him and run off, it was upsetting. But at the same time, I don't know what happened. I don't know, like, if he got called off and he had to run or whatever the case may be. But I wish he had that kind of energy when he's actually on the field, because he ran off pretty quickly. Like, he had a lot of energy. So I don't know. I don't know what to take of that. I'm not gonna sit here and say like Mike McGlinchey, is a is a snake for that or whatever the case may be. But it's just, I don't know. It wasn't a good look. I'll just put it that way. So, and this just goes back to what, we've all said, like, I said at the beginning of the season, like, keeping Jimmy, I wasn't saying I was happy, but I was, at least I could excel a little bit knowing that we had a serviceable backup. Now I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
either.
I don't think it's worth it. Like, I'm like, and I saw Melissa's comment and Ty's, and they're both like, yeah, we need to let our young guys grow. And I agree with that if we didn't have a Super Bowl roster. And if it was a veteran, like if we had Ryan Fitzpatrick at quarterback, he's been in the league a decade. If you want to give him a new offensive line and let the guys grow, I get it, because he's smart. He's been there. He's done that. I'm just throwing a backup out there. Tyrod Taylor, whoever the case may be. When you so letting your guys grow, I'm cool with that, but not at the expense of a Super Bowl roster and not at the expense of a first-year starting quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So that's what, to me, I don't agree with. So what Denise was saying about she don't agree with you, she disagrees with you 200% about Kyle.
Well, because she's never going to say anything negative about Kyle.
We have to saying stuff. Look,
that's how it is.
I love you, Denise, but Kyle's not above reproach. He's not. Nobody is. He made some mistakes in this game as well. The play calling, I felt like he could have aired it out a little bit more. He went away from Brandon Ayuk, who was open almost all game. So Kyle deserves some blame. Is he a great coach? Sure. But you can't just sit there and say, like, he don't make any mistakes. And, yeah, of course, when it comes to discipline, yes, it's always going to be, well, how am I going to word this? So basically, yeah, it's up to the players at some point to have the discipline. But at the same time, Kyle's had this team for 5 years.
It's up to Kyle to have the team ready to play.
Yeah,
and the team wasn't ready to play. Yeah. That was my whole point.
Yeah, and then, so it's like, it's not like Kyle's a first-year coach, second-year coach. He's been there for 5 years. There shouldn't be no errors in these players not being disciplined. He has almost 80 to 90% of his roster now that he's inherited. You know what I'm saying? So it's to a point where it's like, I don't know. I just, and I said this, and I'll say this before. He had them for 5 years. When I joined the military, I went to boot camp. You got a bunch of dudes who were undisciplined. After 3 months, we were disciplined. So I can't just be like, oh, it's not on them. They got us to where they had us prepared. They had us to where. So Kyle is the commander in chief, if you want to say. He has to have these players disciplined. So, 1 or 2 penalties here and there is one thing. The fact that we had over 100 yards in penalties, that's unsatisfactory for a fifth-year coach with the Super Bowl roster. I'm sorry, against a terrible team at that. So that's what I got to say.
Yep. And Callie, I agree with this. What's up, Callie, by the way? Trey wasn't the reason we lost, but Trey also left some plays on the field he wishes he can have back, like the Croft play and interception, for example. I agree 100%. I agree. And obviously we heard him get up there and take blame for the things that he did wrong. And yeah, that Croft play, that was an easy touchdown. That was a touchdown. But yet we also saw Trey get out there and make plays that we haven't seen a quarterback for this team make in a long time. Mm-hmm. That layered throw to the left to I think Ray or
Oh, that was a nice one. Yes.
whew, like I haven't seen a quarterback make that for a long time for this team. Like
Yeah.
he went out there and did things that there's no way. Like people trying to say, "Oh, Trey looked like a bust. I would, I would bench him. He can't lead this team." And it's like I don't know how you can watch the things that Trey did out there and not think like, "Dang, this kid has a lot of talent. Like this kid can do this." Like I don't know. I guess that's just me, but
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you too, Carly. Like, he let some plays on the field, like, that should have been a touchdown. He made some errors, but it's refreshing that now I have a starting quarterback who goes on the podium and admits it.
yeah. Yep. Um I agree. When we were watching this live, I even said to Mike, like, why does it look like Croft is running in like fucking slow motion? Like he just looked like he was running so slow. Like I feel like if that was Debo or Ayuk or even Kittle, like they would have been to the spot that Trey actually threw the ball. Like I know, like obviously he still should make the throw regardless. Like I'm not taking anything, any blame away from Trey, but Croft looked like he was running in freaking slow motion.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
Like he
he
had
was.
freaking bricks in his shoes or something. I'm
Yeah.
like, damn.
I feel like if that was Kittle, it probably would have been a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like he would
Yep.
have ran it. He had the speed to catch up and do that. So yeah, I don't know. It's just it's crazy to me. And like you said, Carly, yeah, he's in his 6th year. He's had 6 seasons. There's no excuses for
And
not
all with
having
the
your game
same team.
prepared. Yep.
Like,
Yeah. So yeah. So everybody makes their mistakes. Like I said, nobody's above reproach. If anybody messes up, they deserve to be called out. Whether it's a head coach, GM, starting quarterback. If Trey's not doing his thing, I'm gonna call him out. You know what I mean? Like it needs to be done. Like I just don't agree that people shouldn't be above criticism. So
yep. Let me say what's up to everybody that's joined since. Kali, I had got you, but what's up? Beto from Niner Sickness Podcast. Make sure if you guys aren't subscribed to him that you go do so. He is a great guy. Melissa, Roberto. Make my way through here with these girls yelling at me in all caps. Chrissy. They had said that I don't know if you saw that they said they got their stuff. Tia,
yeah, I saw Tia and David's comments. Yeah, she said she got hers yesterday and he got his ass. So
DJ,
I'm happy.
DJ Malone, Corey. David McNew, Niner by Nature. Making my way up the list. We're almost done. I don't want to leave anybody out. So if I did, I apologize. Emiliano, what's up? So let me see what else. Obviously, we talked, a little bit about Elijah Mitchell. We know he's going to be out for a little while now. So that sucks. Like when that happened, I'm just like, please don't let this be like deja vu. Like we're losing our starting running back in week 1. Like this was looking all too familiar, like that really sucked to see him come out and freaking get hurt. And like you said, he was running so good before
He
that too.
was. It was like 7 yards a carry.
And then what pissed me off too, which this is also on Kyle, is that Mason was dressed. After Mitchell got hurt, it's like the run game completely just went to shit. Like, we're going to send Jeff Wilson out there a couple times. Okay, well, I've been saying this since last season. Jeff Wilson is looking like shit, and he did. But why just keep Mason sitting on the bench?
Exactly.
Like, why not send, like, we all were expecting, they're going to run the ball a lot in this game because it's rainy, it's wet. But we didn't even see that. It's like, like they started out that way, but after Mitchell got hurt, it's like no adjustment. Like, why not? Okay, if Jeff Wilson's not doing something, send Mason out there. Get some fresh legs out there. See if maybe he can get something going. Yep. You did that during the preseason, and he did get something going. Like I don't understand. So before we move on, I saw that there was a few more. There was another injury. Where was it? So Jordan Willis got placed on injured reserve.
I saw that. Yeah.
And so Kamiko Ture got promoted up, which I
Mhm.
thought was, obviously we don't want to see injury to anybody,
For sure.
But when Kamiko Ture had talked last, he spoke about, his decision to come back and sign with the practice squad instead of, going to sign on an active roster somewhere else. And he talked about, him wanting to be with this team. And he said, talked about, that he'd be on the active roster soon. That they're, so, I'm guessing we know that the 49ers have a way of talking to the people, and saying, all of our players get an opportunity, come back, blah, blah, blah. And, now we see him already moved up to the active roster on the second week. So can you imagine had he went and signed, say with an active roster on the Jags or, the Jets, some shit team.
Yeah.
And then he would have missed the opportunity of, it's just crazy the way things work out.
Yeah.
And then obviously with the room that made, the team then signed running back Marlon Mack. And obviously the injury to Elijah Mitchell, we didn't have running backs on the practice field. So, which I was hoping that would happen. The list of running backs that were left out there, I was hoping that they would sign Mack out of all.
Yeah.
Because he was a good running back prior to injury, and now he's
definitely
2 years removed from that injury. So, hopefully maybe if we do need him, that he has a little bit of juice left in the tank, his legs have been resting. So, and then we signed Willie Snead and cornerback Kerry Vincent Jr. to the practice squad as well.
Yeah. I liked him out of LSU, that corner, Kerry Vincent Jr. I'm surprised he was still out there. So, yeah, he might be somebody who can come in and do something. I like him. And like you said, well, Mac, I think it was a good signing. Like you said before, that Achilles tear, whatever he had, he was 1,000-yard rusher. So,
yeah. So yeah, I think we're ready to, I had said earlier, flush this game through the, what's that, Soldier Field toilet bowl.
Yeah.
Because this game was just, man, we, whoever, no matter who we all want to place the different blame on, and whatever. At the end of the day, we can all agree that the 49ers didn't come out and play to the standard or to the expectations that they should have. And we need to see them do better this week. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah, it was definitely a full team loss.
We did also, before we completely move on, Mike McDaniel, we know that he's the head coach of the Dolphins now. He got his first win as a head coach. The Dolphins won this week. And we know that we didn't just lose him. We lost, a couple other coaches. Do you think that had any impact on what we saw from this team? Because a lot of people are saying, well, maybe Mike McDaniel did do more. Like, we know that Mike McDaniel did a lot and was like Kyle's right-hand man. So do you think, like they're saying maybe he did more than what, any of us thought and yada, yada, yada?
Very possible. I mean, I looked at the replay of that game to the Dolphins and Patriots, and he called a great game. So I don't know. Like, I don't know if he just kind of sat back and did his thing. And, I know he has Wes Welker on the team too as a wide receivers coach. So I don't know. I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not. But then you had, us lose to, I don't know, he's not the head coach. Now we had us lose to Richard Hightower, who's the special teams coach on the Bears. So, that had to make him feel good as well. So I don't know. I don't think that had anything to do with it. I don't, because I feel like most of the errors were on defense, and they're familiar with DeMeco Ryan. So.
Hold on, I need to give this address to my wife real quick. I sent her to do the mail. Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't think so either. And leading up to the season before it started, Dolphins fans kept running their mouth like, oh, you guys are going to see that. Like, they were under the impression that Mike was play calling for us. Like, they were giving Mike like all these jobs that, you know, nobody ever heard of Mike ever having, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm like, and then we do come out and we lose and, you know, the Dolphins win. I'm like, oh God,
Yeah.
here's this.
And then it was crazy about it too is, you know, we have Anthony Lynn, who's supposed to be like a, you know, running game guru. And like, I hope, like, I don't know if he even had any input in this game. Like, hey, let's put in Jordan Mason or whatever. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? But yeah, the way, like everybody was saying, people in the chat, when they were just like, for him not to get any burn was crazy. Like, if it ain't working, you see that Jeff Wilson was looking sluggish and stuff. Just go ahead and put the kid in. Just see, like, what else do you have to lose? You know what I mean? Just put him in, see what he can do. He might have brought a spark to that offense. So I don't know. It's crazy.
Beto says, TL and Miriah, you guys need to come on my show as a guest. Would love to have you on. Whenever you want us on, just let me know.
Yeah, sure.
I'll be there. You know, TL kind of has a more tricky schedule, but yeah, just let us know, you know, what day and time you're thinking, and we can figure something out.
Exactly.
For sure.
I agree.
Let's do a giveaway, and then we will head into the dreaded Seattle week. At least, you know, Russell Wilson's not with them anymore. However, we obviously saw that, you know, Russell Wilson and the Broncos lost to Seattle this week, putting Seattle as the only winner in our division. And at the end of the game, like, you know, when you figured that Russell Wilson was going to lead the team down the field and do what Russell Wilson does and has done to us so many times, right? And I'm thinking, okay, all right, come on, Russell, you got this. Like, finally show them, you know, like what you've been doing to us. No, like the play calling in that game from the Broncos side was so terrible. Like, I couldn't even believe it.
Yeah.
Like, man, like the one time, like, we need you. The one time I'm rooting for you, Russell Wilson, and you let me down.
And then the fact that too, like, they just gave this man a $250 million contract. You couldn't trust him to get you a few yards to get a first down. Like,
yeah,
you rather take your chances on the 64-yard field goal. That's
crazy,
mind-boggling to me. Yeah.
So yeah, let's do a giveaway. Everybody drop your numbers in the chat. Remember, no duplicates. And then we will get talking about Seattle. As we do that, I'm going to show Michelle Shelley had made this other video for last week for the season opener. So I'm going to show that to you right now as you guys enter your numbers. And then we'll come back and we'll do the giveaway. So enter your numbers. Let me find this thing because I have to do this one different.
My favorite number, Denise. 23.
Okay, let me get this off the screen. Let's make sure this goes right.
You're muted, remember.
Oops, thank you. Shout out to Shell's Photography. Make sure if you guys aren't, that you guys go follow her on Twitter at RedJetGirl15. Her info's there at the bottom of the screen. What's up to everybody that's joined? 49ers Throwback. Joel. What's up? So yeah, we'll give you guys another minute to enter your guys' numbers.
We got a couple new
s-
people in too, so go ahead and put your numbers in. Make sure no duplicates.
yep. What's up, NorCal Bill? Yeah, everybody that's joined. What's up, NY? Everybody that's joined, we're in the middle of a giveaway, so enter your numbers in the chat. You guys are gonna need to scroll up though and see, you know, make sure that you guys don't enter a number that's already been entered. Good luck, everybody. So heading into this game, obviously a big thing on the Seattle side is that Jamal Adams, he got hurt week 1 and needs surgery and will be out this season. So that's a big blow to what Seattle does on the defensive side of the ball, right?
Yes.
Like they've pretty much like made that defense, you know, went from what they did before Jamal Adams to we're going to create this defense around what Jamal Adams is good at and can do. So now without Jamal Adams, you know, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. We know that Geno, right? Yeah. That Geno Smith, you know, he said that people wrote him off, but he didn't write back. So we'll see if, you know, that same guy shows up in Santa Clara to face the 49ers, or if that team really just had energy, you know, in week 1 and the Broncos did what a bunch of other teams did in week 1, and instead of coming out and dominating, they came out and laid an egg. And we know that Seattle, if they were pumped up to beat anybody, it was going to be Russell Wilson.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Like, you know, so this could have been very well the only game that they win all season. You know, like I wouldn't, you know, like it wouldn't surprise me. So going into Seattle, what are your thoughts? How you feeling? And as you do that, I'll go ahead and pick a winner.
Yeah. Yeah. Having Jamal Adams out is a big blow to their run defense because that's what he does well. You know, he's a pretty sure tackler. You know, he was a Pro Bowler for a few years for a reason. You know, but at the same time, you know, I hate Andrew at saying that's going to help us tremendously. I know I saw that too. That's hilarious.
Real fast, like
yeah,
he had a whole, you know, like we're used like normally, you know, football
cake,
players, like normally football players slap each other on the ass. Like my wife's always like, why do they do that? Like that's so weird, you know, like, but he had like a whole freaking like if I was grabbing my wife's ass, like a whole handful of ass, like
he grabbed.
I don't know.
He grabbed his cakes like he was grabbing a hostess or something.
Right? Like,
like he was just like, I was like, man.
Like he was Trey Lance at the strip club or something. Come
exactly. Yeah, I was like, dang, Gino, like, is it like that? But hey, to each their own. But yeah, no, what I saw from them, I agree with you. I think Seattle played them very
87.
well. I know it's not Tia again because I saw 81 up there. So yeah, I honestly think that we're gonna come out and smash. I think I had predicted, I don't know, I think you liked my tweet last night when I said, you know, the score, but yeah, I think we're gonna beat them. I think Geno Smith's gonna come back to reality. I think he should have kept his mouth shut, talking about, you know, they wrote me off and you know, and
I didn't write
back.
That was a good line though.
Like, I mean, it was, but you need to say that. Like, I mean, if you had a great season, then I can see you saying that. This was one game. So I think this defense, like I said,
should have been saying that after you win the Super Bowl or something.
Yeah, like I said in the beginning of the show, I think this week against Chicago needed to happen, and I think it's going to pump us up. I think we're going to go out there and just start, you know, smacking teams around like we all know that they were supposed to do. You know what I mean? So yeah, I have, you know. I know everybody's always saying like, "Oh, you shouldn't be too confident. Look what happened." I don't see this team being a Super Bowl roster as good as it is and losing 2 in a row. I just don't see it.
If so, there's some major problems that none of us are expecting.
Yeah, well, like you and I had said before that game, like everybody kept worried about Jimmy Ward being out and all this stuff, and I was like, well, Jimmy Ward, him being out and we lose his game, it's not going to be because of him. We have more problems than just Jimmy Ward, as we saw. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't think we lose this game. I think we're going to run the ball, but I do think that Trey's going to throw it more. I know they said it might be some rain again, and everybody's like, "Oh, he has to play again in rain," but you know how it is in Cali.
It ain't
like
gonna
the
be
rain,
no freaking hurricane, whatever the hell,
like
monsoon.
Yeah, so it's not going to be like that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. I think we need to get back to people talking about us going to the Super Bowl, because I feel like after 1 week, people are already writing us off. As we said, for me, it's pissing me off hearing all this stuff about Trey needs to be benched, and this is now after one game. And then you look at the stats for him and Josh Allen for the first 3 games of their careers, and they're pretty similar.
Yeah,
So
I had saved something about comparing him with some other quarterbacks about their starting 3-game stats.
yeah, it's pretty similar. Yeah, I think Trey has a better throwing percentage. I think he has more throwing touchdowns, but I think Josh Allen has more rushing touchdowns, and they have the same amount of interceptions, I believe. So, we're going to be fine. I hope Danny Gray, he gets more burn this game, because I truly believe that Debo's going to be
Burn
used a lot.
period. He needs to be
Yeah,
active to get some burn.
exactly. I think he gets more burn. I think that Debo's going to be kind of used as a running back this game. I think he'll get. He had 6 carries last week. I think he's going to have probably like 8 to 10. I wouldn't be surprised, because of Elijah Mitchell getting hurt, which sucks because we want to see him out there. But at the same time, if it gets him to be a running back, and then it activates Danny Gray, that might be a positive. You know what I mean? Because Danny Gray's going to open up that field. So yeah, we win this game. I'm pretty confident about it.
Before I get into it, Tia, congratulations. You get to pick what you want out of these. I don't know if
What
you
a
saw the post.
surprise!
Yeah, she's like the most freaking. She needs to pick me some lotto numbers or
Lotto
something.
numbers,
Because
I know.
shit, like
Yeah,
your
it's crazy.
talents are going wasted here. I don't know if you saw the post on Twitter, but I'll hold them up and you can see. There's a couple Trey Lance, couple, yeah, whatever. Let me know. Trey Lance, rookie gold card. Trey Lance, youth movement.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tia,
you get to pick. Trey Lance, supernatural. I like these ones a lot.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. We got a numbered Richard Sherman. A hollow Ty Davis Price. And 2 George Kittles. This one and this one. So let me know.
Cool.
If you can remember. Oh, there's also these 3 as well. These autos. Autographs from Diamador Lenore, one from Ambry Thomas, and one from Charlie Warner. So you pick whatever you want. The Trey Lance, the last one. Okay.
Okay.
The supernatural, right?
Yeah, that was the last one. Yeah.
Okay. Congrats. And everybody that, now that you've seen, what there is. So remember, for if you win the next giveaway, you can already know what there is. I already have ready. Like, if I win, I'm going to pick. Congrats. All right. Yeah, so I would think that, like you said, that Danny Gray will be active. Obviously, with Elijah Mitchell getting hurt, because Danny Gray and TDP were both inactive, which was very surprising. When Kyle was asked, the reasoning why Mason was up over TDP, and, basically the same for Gray, was because that Mason brought special teams, that the special teams aspect. And I guess for whatever reason, TDP and Danny Gray don't contribute. I don't know. That seems kind of weird. I would think all 3 would, do special teams. But I guess Mason, maybe, he was better in special teams during the week. And, I don't know. Like, I can understand why Danny Gray wasn't, because obviously they didn't think that they'd be able to throw, in the rain, that far, and yada, yada, yada. Like we said, I'm not expecting, even if it rains a little in Santa Clara, it's not going to be nothing like how the weather was in Chicago. So I would expect that Danny Gray is active. I would be very pissed off if he's not.
Yeah.
We obviously know TDP has to be, because they have, Who else are they going to have? Like if they pull up what's his face off the practice squad and activate him over TDP, then there's a reason to kind of start worrying, because now this is 2 running backs in the 3rd round, back-to-back drafts, that something's not right. So it'll be interesting to see there, but I would expect that it's going to be Jeff Wilson starting, even though whether we think that's right or wrong, that's how it's going to be because he's the vet. Jeff Wilson, and then TDP and Mason. And then we saw, I don't know, it's going to be interesting because they had brought up from the practice squad, right, the safety and the other wide receiver, right?
Which receiver?
The one that was good on special teams, like during the preseason, they activated him over.
I'm talking about Turner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had activated him over Gray.
Yeah.
So, which I agree, he is better on special teams. We saw him make a huge impact on special teams. So it'll be interesting to see, like who they activate from the practice squad, because there's a set number, right? That like if we bring up that safety again, like can't we only bring him up twice, or is it twice or 3 times before then he has to go to the active roster?
Not sure the rules on that.
Or else like he can't be brought up or something. It's something like that, either 2 games or 3 games, and then something happens. So I don't know if they're planning to bring him up, maybe weeks 1, 2, and 3, and then I don't know. What I did like, and I forgot to touch on when we were talking about the Bears, was obviously Hufanga. We know that, they say he obviously that Dante Pettis touchdown was Hufanga's fault.
Yeah.
But every play, whether like, and especially during the first half, like, and this is what I said to them, during the game, was every play, whether it was, Chicago getting the running back getting the ball 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, whether they were throwing the ball 10 yards down the field, whether, whatever it was, Hufanga was there on that freaking play.
Yep.
Like that guy was everywhere. Like I could not believe it. And they talked about, his straight line speed, and we know his 40 time and all that BS.
Yeah.
That didn't seem to be an issue, right? Like,
no,
because I didn't see that 40 time like become an issue when he was out there playing.
Yeah, no, I don't think it will. I think when he was, it's kind of hard to say. I mean, I know when you have speed, it's going to be there, but some people just have that game speed than they do just like, because there's track speed and there's game speed. I think Hufanga's more game speed. So the fact that he was everywhere didn't surprise me. I don't know if you remember, but I had picked him to lead the league and lead our team in tackles against Chicago. Remember, I said I think he's going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, he's going to be great. Once I'm sure he's going to learn from that Pettis situation, and he probably won't even let it happen again. Like he seems like he's smart too, but his IQ is through the roof. So yeah, I have no issues with how he plays and how he's going to play going forward. I think he's going to be the man. I think he'll, in a couple of years, you'll see his name as like in a Pro Bowl selection.
Yeah. Shit, I was just gonna have said something about him that I don't remember. Oh well, I'm sure it'll come back to me. Yeah, that interception was awesome too. Like, man. Oh, I was gonna say, this is with him playing next to whoever that they brought up from the practice squad. I can't even remember the guy's name.
Tyshawn Gibson.
Yeah. So now, could you imagine like when his actual running mate, like is back out there, when Jimmy Ward's back out there playing next to him, and that's who he's used to playing with. That's and Jimmy, he knows that he don't have to worry about what Jimmy Ward's doing, right? That he's making up for whatever the hell else. Yeah. So Huff's able to do what he does. But when Huff's there playing next to Gibson, like it's a completely different thing. Like Huff probably don't trust whatever he's doing, and like that's different. Like they haven't been playing together.
And they haven't played together. They haven't played together long. Like he got brought up, like after like third preseason game or something like that. So there's no chemistry really, like as far as communication wise. So I bet you if that was Ward, Pettis ain't scoring that touchdown. So
Let me write down. What was your score prediction?
For Seattle game?
Yep.
I got us winning 27-17.
All right. I'm going to stick with what I had said, similar to last week. But no, let me see. I'm going to go 31-13.
Ooh, straight beat down, huh?
Yep. They need to come out and show that week 1 was just
a fluke.
Yep. Just a practice, a preseason game. And so I'm going to have eventually at the end of the show, you guys drop your score predictions, but don't do it now because before we do that, we're going to do another giveaway. So enter your numbers for the giveaway and then we'll do score predictions after that.
The Seahawks Niners spread is back down to 8.5.
That's still a lot.
It is.
Like, and for, like we're the team that's 0-1. Seattle's 1-0. Like, that's crazy.
I feel like it's one of those games that Vegas does, like puts the spread out there because the average fan is going to be like, oh, the Niners just lost to the Bears. Seahawks just beat the Broncos. Oh, it's a -10. Oh, I'm taking the Seahawks for sure because that's what you're going to think. Yeah. And we've always had trouble with the Seahawks. I just have a feeling they're going to cover that spread.
Yeah, we had trouble with the Russell Wilson-led Seahawks.
Yeah,
we had trouble with the Jimmy Garoppolo-led 49ers against the Seahawks. But yeah, I'm expecting this team to, like you said, this really have been a wake-up call for them and them to play a lot better this week.
Yeah.
A statement game, whatever it is.
And what's so good about it too, Miriah, is that other than the Seahawks, everybody else lost in our division. It's not like the Rams won or the Arizona won. Like, I mean, other than Seattle, like we're literally just a game behind. So that's awesome. I'm glad it happened when it did.
And here's the thing is that even though Seattle won, they looked like shit. Like, let's not act like they went out there and looked like a great team, and the Rams look way worse than they did last season. And we know that they lost a lot of starters and didn't replace them with anybody.
Yeah.
Except for Jim from accounting. So
and Kyler Murray had no weapons. I was looking at that. I'm like, man, DeAndre Hopkins was out. Rondell Moore was out. Like his top 2 receivers weren't even there. So, and AJ Green, I used to love that guy when he was in Cincinnati. It's time for him. It's time for him to hang up those cleats.
Yeah, like I really like. I don't know, like that is something that I always like. I won't say frown upon, but something I don't like is that like when great wide receivers play too long. Like, and they have all these like 3-4 years at the end of their career where they're just injured and they're slow and they're getting 100 yards a season. Like, it's like, hang it up when, like you're still have something like, you're not looking like freaking crap out there. Like, man, like you don't need to just do it an extra year.
Yeah.
Like, hang it up when you can freaking have money and you're still able to go out and enjoy yourself.
Still have your health.
Yeah,
like
dignity.
Like AJ Green probably should have been gone probably 2 seasons ago.
Yeah,
and now he's playing. Like Julio Jones sounded like he found a fountain of youth. Like, he looked good, but yeah, like AJ Green, I'm just like, man, like he used to be so dominant. Now he's like 4th on the depth chart and is only getting snaps because Hopkins and Rondell Moore ain't playing. So it's crazy.
Yep. I'm really also hoping, we talked about the running backs and how Kyle didn't switch to Mason last game. I'm really hoping that if they start this game out and Jeff Wilson's looking how Jeff Wilson has looked as of late, that Kyle makes the switch because with Jamal Adams being out, like you talked about, his run defense, this is the perfect opportunity for the 49ers to be able to run the ball down the Seahawks' throat.
Mm-hmm.
But the running backs have to have a chance. Like, please don't, and I'm not against, like, I know that there's like been an ongoing thing going back and forth this week on whether, Kyle should have ran or should, going forward, run Trey more than what he did. And, there's the side that, no, don't run Trey more because we don't want him to get hurt. And there's the side that, Trey's the quarterback. He needs to do whatever, if that's what he's best at that moment, like that's what he needs to do to win the games for this team, I'll say this on it. Like, I see, both sides of that. I'm not against Kyle running Trey more if it's at the right time.
Exactly.
Like, don't be throwing him out there to run when it's 3rd and 18 or, like whatever. Like, if it's 3rd and 1 or, we're in the red zone and, like run him then.
Yeah.
Like, there's times in a place like that he can be running. Like, don't just be running and running and running and running and run, like that. It's too much then. Like,
you know what I will say too, and I want to ask the people in the chat, if they're saying the same thing. And I'm never going to question Kyle with his creativity, but I will when it comes to this. When Debo is in the backfield, teams know he's getting the ball. Like I think you should sometimes just use him as a decoy, because there were a crowd in the box and he wasn't going anywhere. You know what I mean? So it's like you want to put him in the backfield. If teams are going to crowd up the box, let them crowd the box.
Yeah.
And that's when you go deep with Danny Gray or Ayuk or wherever the case may be. It's like you can't always give somebody the ball when they're in the backfield. Like, you know what I mean? Because teams now know, because Debo's not a secret anymore.
Yeah, I talked about this season.
Yeah, he's not a secret anymore. So it's like
just giving the ball to him every time he's back there. They know that's coming. Like,
yeah, so it's like, dude, like if you're gonna put him back there, fine. Like let him be like, oh crap, it's Debo. He's back there. Cool. Let him crowd the box. And then when he crowds the box, that's when, like I said, that's when you get down with the George Kittles going deeper or whoever it is. You know what I mean? But yeah, like he doesn't have to get the ball every single time. Like, because like I said, I saw when I was watching that, every time he was back there, he got the ball and they were crowding the box.
Yeah. So and that's gonna keep happening.
That's why he gets hurt.
Giving him the ball.
Yeah, but that's why he gets hurt. He's getting hit by like 2 or 3 players at one time. So yeah, just get a little creative when it comes to that. Yeah, decoy him like, oh crap, because everybody fears Debo. Let's be honest here. They fear him like crap. I don't want him to get the ball because they know how nasty he is with the ball in his hands. So let that man go in the back, especially in our own division. Like they know it's coming. So just be like, okay, you know what I mean? So just let him go back there. And that's when you play action them. And then, yeah, like what Ty's saying, you play action. Then you got, because, if you have, and I hope he plays, which I think he will. If you have Kittle, Ayuk, and Danny Gray, and even Jennings running wide open, that's going to be dangerous. So I just hope that Kyle gets a little creative with Debo being in the backfield. So,
yeah. What's up, Bebop? Everybody, hey, what's up, Rick? We're in the middle of a giveaway, so scroll up and you'll see everybody started entering their numbers. Enter a number, just make sure nobody's entered it yet, so you guys can get into the giveaway. I'll give you guys like a minute, and then we'll go ahead and draw a number. I always have something that I'm going to say, and then once I say that, then I forget what the hell I was going to say. That's
funny. He's talking about me getting old. I don't know, Miriah. No,
I know.
No, Ty and David McNew, I agree with you guys. Exact 100%, man. Use that man as a decoy at times. It's not going to hurt anything.
Yeah, this is something I've been wanting, is the 2 tight end sets. Like, I talk about this all the time, that when we signed Reed, like that's what, I was so hoping for. Like, I loved him as a tight end when he was with Washington, and obviously, he couldn't stay healthy. And then we've seen that, still with the 49ers, but like that would have been such an awesome, 2 tight end sets for freaking Reed and Kittle.
Yeah.
But it's like, we see, we talk about this too, is like, I don't know why they don't use Dwelly. Like, it's like, okay, when these people are injured, yeah, we're going to use you, Dwelly. But other than that, nope, you just sit your ass over there. And, it's like, if you can't block, okay, you can't block, but he can catch. So use him in the passing game. Like,
yeah, and that's
so
why
we
I
could
wanted
use him in that 2 tight end set.
Yeah, that's why I wanted them to get O.J. Howard so bad in the offseason. I'm like, man, him and Kittle. I know O.J. Howard hasn't lived up to his first-round grade.
Did you see how he looked this week?
Yes,
2 touchdowns, and he was only with the team for, what, a week or something?
Exactly. Like, him and Kittle out there would have been nasty. And I was hoping when he was available, the Niners would go out and get him and let go of Croft or whoever, they can to make room for Howard, but it didn't happen. But, man, that would have been nasty. But you're right. He had 2 touchdowns on 3 targets. 2 touchdowns on 3 targets, I believe. Like, so yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. What's up, Davin all day? Appreciate you checking in. For sure. I I talk you up all the time, so I'll be more than happy to give away anything that you want to donate for us to give away.
Yep.
I've even, like I got your stickers back here, but I've given away a couple once I send out their giveaway packages, but I won't give away any of those because I'm too selfish. Okay, they're mine.
Hilarious.
I don't want to share. I was an only child, so I haven't learned how to share yet.
So what you're saying is you're still spoiled.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, let's draw this giveaway winner. If it's Tia, I swear. All right, ready?
Yeah, I'm going to the top.
Ooh.
96.
96. Good luck, everybody.
All right. I see. Ooh, I think Ty has 89. I've seen that's the highest so far.
Okay, awesome. Ty says Miriah doesn't give away the good stuff.
I think it's Ty. He has the highest number. Hold on, let me see. Let me go back and
that's whose address I was just sending to my wife.
Really? Oh, really? Yeah. So that's who it is. It's Ty. He's the winner.
All right. Congrats. Oh, Tia had missed it. That's why.
Tia had 24. She had a low number. Yeah,
okay.
She had a low number.
Ty, do you remember, or do you want me to hold up the stuff again, or do you already know what you want? Let me know. I don't care. I can hold it up again if you need me to. Speaking of, these kiddo cards right here on the top, and this one on the top is a chain movers card. Like, we really need kiddo to play.
Yes.
Like, I know, Dwelly steps up fine, but that's not Kittle. Like, there's a night and day difference between what Kittle can do in the run game as well. Like, his presence, like, we need him for that, especially that we don't have Elijah Mitchell. Like, we definitely need Kittle to play. I didn't get to catch if he practiced today. I know he didn't yesterday, but I don't care. Hold him out of practice all week and let him play Sunday.
He's such a great blocker, and for only being like 250, 245, 250, he's so strong. Like, he pancakes linemen and everything. Like, the guy's an animal as a blocker. He's a beast.
All right, Ty. Here's the George Kittle chain movers.
Speaking of Kittle.
George Kittle star status. We got Ty Davis Price. Richard Sherman. Trey. Youth Movement. Trey Lance Gold rookie card. And then you got a Charlie Warner autograph, Ambry Thomas autograph, and Diamador autograph. So there's Charlie Warner.
Trey rookie card Thomas, is nice.
And then Diamador.
Which one, Ty? I think she held up a couple trays. I like that rookie card. That one was nice.
Yeah. The gold one or the Youth Movement?
I think he's going to go with that rookie card.
Yeah, that one. I've had that one for a while.
Have you? Trey rookie card or Youth Movement. Either or, yep. Hey, son.
You want the Youth Movement one? This one's not a rookie card, the Youth Movement. The gold one's the rookie card. All right.
Trey rookie. No, he still hasn't picked yet. Okay, cool.
Hey, Sin.
He said the gold card.
Okay.
Yeah, the rookie one. Yeah.
All right. Congrats, Ty.
Didn't Ty win the Bryant Young thing too, the plaque?
Yeah, that's
That's
what
what
my
I
wife
thought.
was out sending today.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
I
awesome.
had been waiting for some more addresses, but I didn't get them, so I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll just send whatever I have ready.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'm so scared. Like, this is the first time I've shipped something out because it has a glass frame on it.
Yeah.
You know, so with the glass, like, I'm like, please don't let this shit break in the way. Like, I got it in the mail, you know, shipped to me. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, hopefully the
Hopefully it'll be.
guy at the mail place, like, they pack it up themselves. So hopefully you freaking did it right.
Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't hate the Niners.
Yeah, right. I'm always worried that it's going to be a Niner fan and they're going to like steal the package after I leave or something, you know. I did want to talk about, you know, nothing to do with the two games, you know, particularly, but about how the other quarterbacks from Trey Lance's class did, you know, in their first game. And this is all quarterbacks that played last season as well, right? And we saw Trevor Lawrence come out and play like shit. We saw Mac Jones come out and play like shit. We saw Justin Fields. I think Trey Lance outplayed Justin Fields.
Yep.
So yeah,
And then you got Zach Wilson too.
which he didn't play because he's hurt.
Yeah.
Yet on all the national media, now again, you know, a lot of 49er fans may only listen to 49er related things. I listen to all NFL, everything.
Same.
You know, whatever NFL that pops up on my feed, I'm going to listen to it.
Yep.
And Trey Lance is getting criticized more than any of those quarterbacks. This is his first start this season, you know, first start this season. And like, he's getting the most criticism that I've seen. Like, he's had 3 starts and they're not even 3 consecutive starts. You know, like what? It was like game 5, 17, and now game 1 of the next season. So he has months in between of his 3 starts. And he comes out and played in a monsoon. You know, had his defense and team give up 100 yards in freaking penalties. And he gets criticized more than what these other quarterbacks. Like, I just don't get it. Like,
yeah,
you know, we saw Burrow come out this week and throw what, 4 interceptions?
Four interceptions. Yep.
Like, what are we talking about? Justin Herbert gets the most praise out of anybody, and the guy hasn't done shit. He, you know, like, since he's been in the league, his team hasn't won anything.
Not at all. Nope.
He has a full stacked roster around him. What's he doing? Because he has a strong arm? Well, great. So does our quarterback.
Yeah.
Like I just don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Weird.
Yeah, I just, you know, and I think what it comes down to, and I think I hadn't mentioned this before, I think if you look at the teams, I think what it comes down to is the rosters. Because I think if 49ers were trash, it wouldn't even really be that much of a conversation. However, I do want to say out of the quarterback class, you know, somebody even outside of the first round, Davis Mills looked pretty good. He was like 24 of 37 or 36 or something like that with 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. And you're right. Like, I think Trey Lance played better than Justin Fields. I think people will look at the 2 touchdowns and be like, well, he had two touchdowns. Okay, yeah. Well, one was a broken play, and then the other one, okay, like, you know, he threw it good to Equanimous St. Brown, but overall, he didn't play better than Trey. And even Breezy was saying that there was Chicago Bears fans, because he went to that game, that there's Chicago Bears fans that even told him that Trey looked better than Justin Fields. So, yeah, I just think, you know, it's one of those things where our team is just so good. People want instant results. Well, with Jimmy, we didn't get instant results either. So I don't care what you say. I don't care if you can say, well, we were in the NFC Championship, whatever the case may be. The guy has proven he can't get it done. He can't get us over the hump. So why not give it to the man that they traded 2 first-round picks for and swapped a pick to get? At least he brings us a different dynamic to this offense. And the man's played 3 games, like you said, with months in between. See, even Ty said the same thing. Bears fan told him the same thing. So, yeah, so Trey played great. Yeah, he had it looks bad when he threw that interception. And in the fourth quarter, he didn't play very well. But at the same time, you know, offensive line was playing like trash, which, you know, like I said, even Trent Williams looked rusty. Like, I was like, what the heck's going on with this man? So, yeah, I think we're going to be fine. He gets a lot of hate, you know. and it's funny too because you look at and you know, and I don't think that Trey is weak minded. Like I feel like he's a strong personality kid. And I want to say, and I hope I'm right. And I hope that Jimmy looking over his shoulder isn't hindering him because I'm sorry, even though he's a good quarterback, he's still 22 who hasn't proved anything. And I just hope that that locker room is on his side and nobody, you brought up earlier, there's a lot of new people in here. You brought up earlier the thing with Mike McGlinchey taking off when Trey was on the ground and him not being picked up by Trent Williams or Mike McGlinchey. Like, it could be something where, there's some chatter in the locker room where people are like, oh, well, if Trey messes up or Trey does this, we need to put Jimmy in and this and that. My thing is get this dude off the team ASAP. Which I don't even know if Kyle will because he's stubborn that way. But, and I get it. It's like, you don't want your quarterback room being Trey and Brock Purdy, which is scary. I get it. But at the same time, like if it's going to hinder your quarterback and if you have like me, I'm sorry, I'm cutthroat. If there's guys in the team in the locker room and I'm hearing chatter of, oh, we need to put Jimmy in, I'll get rid of you. Like I'm not playing these games. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'll tell them, I don't care what your feelings are. This is my team. I'm the coach. I feel the best way to win is Trey, and that's what I'm going to do. I don't want to hear nothing about putting Jimmy in, whether it's amongst yourself or not, and it better not get back to me. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the conversation needs to be. I'm dropping the hammer down on these players. I don't care who you are. Trent Williams, Kittle, I don't care who you are.
Nope.
So that's what it comes down to. I just hope that, like I said, that the team has his back. I don't want to speculate on him falling and him not being picked up after he was sacked from McGlinchey's guy. If anything, McGlinchey should have ran over there and picked him up.
Exactly. And like,
dude,
I
feel like
bro, maybe Trent Williams didn't see him. Like there's no, Trent Williams didn't look over at him like McGlinchey did. And Trent Williams was ahead of McGlinchey.
Exactly. Yeah. He was standing behind. He was in like it was Trey. Then McGlinchey ran right in between Trent Williams and him. So by the time McGlinchey was kind of running, Trey was kind of getting up. So, but like, if I'm sitting here and I'm just like, if I'm your right tackle and I allow you to get sacked, I'm picking you up ASAP, dude. My bad, bro. I'll play better next time, and I'm picking you up. But for him just to it off the field, it doesn't sit right with me. However, like I said, I don't want to speculate and call McGlinchey a bad teammate because I don't know the whole story. You know what I mean?
I mean, and everything up to this point, like we can say whatever about McGlinchey's play, but everything up to this point, he hasn't done anything to lead us to believe that he's a bad teammate or that he doesn't support, his quarterback, no matter who it is, like we know obviously that he's a Jimmy guy because he's won with Jimmy, he's gone to the Super Bowl with Jimmy. He's gone to the playoffs with Jimmy, and any of these guys that have been on the team for a while, they're all like that because prior to Jimmy, the only success they know is with Jimmy.
That's it.
So, I mean, I don't want to either say, oh, he's seen him and just didn't pick him up or whatever, like we don't know,
Yeah. And and like you were saying too, Miriah, it's like, all these offensive weapons are veterans on this team. I'm sick of the drops. Like, stop dropping the ball. Support your quarterback. Like, even my boy Kyle Juszczyk, even he dropped the pass. Like, dude, you got to catch the ball, man. I'm sorry.
But who did have a good game that had drops during, the training camp and all that?
Jawan Jennings.
Yeah.
Third and Jennings.
And yet when we needed him, who came through, right?
Yep.
He wasn't out there dropping the ball, so
exactly.
That guy's a gamer, obviously.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. I really hope that this team comes out and does something. But I like you said, as long as Jimmy's still on this team, this is going to happen. And whether we come out and we win this week, still there's going to be chatter about, because look, every play that Trey missed, every throw that he missed, people are dissecting them. Oh, right? Yeah. Look at Josh Allen's game. Look at Patrick Mahomes' game. Right? Look at how many throws they miss. How many throws that are freaking going here, going there, crazy ass throws. But all people do is look at the big plays that they make. Look at the good plays they make. They're not there dissecting every missed throw that these guys freaking miss. Yet with Trey, that's what people are doing.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he should have made this throw. Oh, well, he should have made that throw. Yet let's not give him credit for the throws that he did make. Like that's the shit that like I can't stand.
Well, just like that Tyler Kroft. Yeah, like that Tyler Kroft throw when he missed them. Well, you guys want to talk about Jimmy missing Kyle Juszczyk against the Titans. Well, what about this one? And I'm just like, oh my God, like they can't wait for him to mess up.
Yeah. So whether we go out and win or not, it's going to be a little bit quieter, of course, because winning, shuts people up for a little bit. But whether we win or not, there's still going to be, oh, well, look, Trey missed this throw. Oh, he's not going to go out there and throw 20 for 20. If you guys think that's going to happen, like you're going to be sadly freaking in for a rude awakening every week after week after week, because it's not going to happen. No quarterback does that. If we want a quarterback that's a gunslinger, well, this is the shit that you have to take with it. Like I don't see, again, Buffalo Bills fans, Kansas City fans bitching that their quarterback, oh, he missed this throw freaking 3 inches to the left. Like that shit don't happen. Like it's just weird. So I agree. Like, obviously we know that the Cowboys, that Dak got hurt, the Cowboys quarterback. There was a little scare with Mac Jones and his back. They're saying it was back spasms, but he hasn't played a football game since. So we don't know how it's going to act when he gets hit again. The back surely is nothing to joke around with. Like I know firsthand. If the opportunity comes up and these teams are calling for Jimmy, I don't care if they're giving you a 7th round pick. Get the guy off the fucking team.
Amen to that.
At this point, and the team signed a quarterback this week to the practice squad.
Yeah, I saw that.
I forgot to mention that, which is kind of weird. Like I was expecting, okay, they're either getting ready that there has been calls, for Jimmy, or that an injury news was going to come out. Like, I'm like, there's something, because why would we need another quarterback? We're already carrying 3 quarterbacks. So I don't know. But as long as Jimmy's on the team, this is going to be happening. Oh, and the Jimmy fans are always going to be, oh, well, Jimmy would have done this, Jimmy would have done that. But if Jimmy's not on the team, they can't be, there's no question, oh, well, Jimmy needs to come in for Trey.
Exactly.
Because we're not calling for Purdy to take Trey's job. Like, it's not happening, so.
Yeah. That's just what sucks, man. It's like, and I get it. Like, as a football player, NFL football player, especially a quarterback, you have to have some thick skin. But like I said, this is a first-year starter with a great team. So like you said, anything he does is going to be critiqued. Oh, he didn't do this correct. Jimmy would have made that over the middle throw. Jimmy is just going to be like that. I'm so desperate to get this dude off this team. I'll trade him and bring in Cam Newton. Honestly, like I would do that, even though I don't like Cam Newton as a quarterback. Like he'd be an upgrade over Purdy, I think. At least you have somebody who has some success that can probably mentor Trey that has a similar type game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, just get this dude off my team, because I think it's just going to be more of a hindrance to Trey. And like I said, if Trey was 26, 27, okay, cool. The kid is 22 in his first year with so much expectations on this team. It's not like a Trevor Lawrence or a Zach Wilson where the team is not even expected to make the playoffs. We're always, if you look at people's, the way they rank us, we're always at least on the top 7. Regardless, top 7 puts you in Super Bowl contention, because anything can go your way. So for him to have those expectations and people, all this chatter of, oh, the Niners got a Super Bowl roster and this, and that. And like you said, we're so good that every error he makes is going to be critiqued. And with Jimmy breathing down his neck, that's not good for his confidence, in my opinion. I'm not saying I know more than John, no more than Kyle, but to me, it's common sense to look at it and be like, man, and I get it. You want a serviceable backup in case Trey gets hurt. I get it, because I was for that reason. But like I said, I'm starting to, after one game, people are already writing the kid off. And now it's getting to the point where, like, man, how many games are they going to give him a leash? And it pisses me off, because I don't think Kyle will do it, because I think he's smarter than that to be like, oh, I'm not going to bench him for Jimmy. But at the same time, it's like, if you gave Jimmy such a long leash last year, where we're 3-5, and you didn't bench him, then don't do the same thing to Trey, who is your future.
Yeah. Rick says, hey, I got a question, and it seems like, most people are in agreement that we need to get rid of him. He says, hey, I got a question to ask. Do you think it's a distraction to the team? And trade, I'm just asking, what do you think? It's a distraction. I do think it's a distraction, especially at this point, and the thing is that, Kyle can say, oh, it's, the team, it's not affecting the team right now, but when will it start? If it's not yet, which none of us know, right? When will it start? when will Trey make a mistake that's too much for the vets to handle? You know, like when will it then become, oh, well, you know, the team then talking, Jimmy's guys, the vets then talking, oh, well, you know, we could have been winning with Jimmy, or we, you know, like Jimmy could have done this, or, you know, whatever. Like, when does it become a distraction? When does it become too much? After it's too late? After the team's already in a freaking ruckus? And, you know, like, that's the thing.
I
It's
think it
like,
already is a distraction
I
after
think so
week one.
too.
I think it already is because, like Miriah said, like, you know, I don't think it's going to happen, but let's just say we lose this game, okay, against Seattle on Sunday. We're 0-2. I don't care what the situation is. You have people, like you mentioned earlier, we have people on this team who's been there since Kyle has gotten there, and the McGlincheys, the Kittles, the Kyle Juszczyks, you know, people who have been there who have won with Jimmy at the helm. So if we go 0-2 and it's like, oh man, we got to go into a tough environment with Denver against Russell Wilson. Oh, okay, we might have to put in Jimmy G because at least he can get us to win, and you know, stuff like that. So it's like, man, and that's not fair to Trey. Like I said, you know, I just hope that, you know, these players have his back, because if the players have his back, it doesn't matter. But it's just art. But the thing is, do they, is the big question. Do they have, and I'm sure there's a little bit of animosity, you know, on them. Like, oh man, like, I don't know, like our team is this good. Because that's all, honestly, that's the only reason why I think that Kyle started Jimmy last year. I thought he thought like, oh, we know we have a Super Bowl roster. Let's get him in. We're familiar. I know there was some chatter. He brought in all these free agents on 1-year deals because he thought he could win with Jimmy. Obviously, we see that we couldn't twice, you know, getting as far as we did. So now I think he's like, okay, it's done. I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of this dude. I just hope that it's one of those things where it's like the team has his back, and you know, me, you know, especially for these veterans, the Trent Williamses, the Robbie Goulds, people who've been there for a while, go up to Trey. You know what? Go ahead and shake it off. This is your team. You take the reins. You take, you know, whatever the case may be. Like, let him know. It's funny because you kind of, and he's not a kid, but you kind of have to talk to him like a kid to give him that confidence, if that makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? Just like, if you have these veterans who have been there, done that, telling him this, it's going to give him even the more confidence in the world. Even if your coach is telling you that, the players are the ones who are on the field with you fighting. You know what I mean? So as long as they're telling him that, I think he should be fine. But yeah, we're saying Rick, I think it is a distraction after week one, which is sad. I think he would have. I think even if we won, it'd still be a distraction. But I think the fact that we lost and we're going in against a team who just beat Denver, and Seattle's always had our number, and this, and that. So I just kind of think that if something happens and we happen to lose this game, or if it's close, or whatever the case may be, it's going to be more chatter. Because all I've been hearing all week on ESPN is, oh, should Jimmy be the quarterback? Should, you know, I've been hearing that on every show, no matter who I turn it to. Oh, is San Francisco making the right choice? Is Kyle over his head? And all this other stupid stuff. Like, oh, you know, like I got people at work telling me, and I know their opinions don't matter, but I got people at work being like, man, I don't know why you guys are starting this kid. You guys are so good, and you guys should put Jimmy in. He took you to a Super Bowl. And I'm like, he didn't take us anywhere. And I hate arguing with people because I keep hearing this foolishness.
Yeah. Give me your score predictions, everybody. I'll write them all down, and then, you know, whoever's the closest, if somebody actually does get it right. Last week there's nobody because we all picked the 49ers to win. Then we'll give you guys away something at the overreaction show.
Yeah.
So enter your predictions for week 2.
Ooh,
what's up, Tanya?
21-17.
Hey, Courtney.
And Dina's almost like mine.
Most of those is the same exact as mine.
21-10. I like it. I want to blow these dudes out.
I know.
I want to just destroy them. David McNeil, same score, 27-17. I just feel it, man. I think we're gonna win by at least 10.
I hope so.
31-13.
We need this.
Especially too, because everybody else lost. So let's just say everybody else does win and we win. we'll be first place, I think, right? Because Seattle's first place, and that'll be the first place in the division. So yeah, we need this. I know it's only week 2, but that'd be awesome. 27-23. That's a little too close for my liking. Blood pressure be up all game. 27's that close.
Make sure I get everybody. We appreciate you guys hanging with us.
I agree, David. Win by 20 plus.
That would be nice. Definitely. 3 of us have the same score prediction so far.
That's crazy. I think the offensive line is going to be giving us some trouble for a couple weeks at least till they get some continuity. But this defense, to me, has no excuses. This defense should be in there wrecking shop.
Yeah, the defense should be able to carry, the offense until the offense is ready.
Yeah, exactly. Until the offensive line.
We're talking about this is going to be a top 3 defense. Well, they sure in the hell didn't look like it. Yeah. Freaking Talanoa looked like top 3 defense. That's
That's it. I think we're going to see Charvarius Ward on DK and then Emmanuel Mosley on Tyler Lockett. I respect that, Rick.
What's up, media? I think I got everyone. Hopefully. Let me look through real quick, make sure. Dina, did I get Dina? Yeah. Joel, Melissa, yeah. All right, I think I got
Mother
everybody.
Nature really hates Trey.
Media, you got a score prediction? Give me your score prediction. And then, as soon as media gives me this prediction, for those that were here last week during our show, we had you guys spam the chat, and I randomly selected somebody's comment to win a giveaway. That's what we're going to do again. But let me get media's prediction first, or else then I'm going to lose it. $21.17. All right, so in a couple minutes, I'm just going to randomly scroll through the chat, and I'm going to select the comment. Whoever's comment is the first one to come up on the screen, that's who will win. So starting now, everybody start spamming the chat. Get your comments in there, because the more comments you have in there, the easier it is for yours to get selected. Again, we appreciate everybody hanging out with us all the time.
Appreciate the support.
Yep.
So here's my parlay bet for this week. I got the
let's hear it.
I got the Niners minus 8.5. I got the Colts -4. I got Panthers plus 2.5, and I got Patriots -1. It's a $50 4-teamer to win $610.
Nice. That would be nice.
Yeah.
I need to go put some money on my damn betting app thing. But like the closest one for me that I know of to do it is my old work. So I don't know if I want to roll up in there yet. Like I texted one of my old investigators and I'm like, did they put me on the trespass list or anything? Like, are they going to come after me if I walk through the door? I like that. Hashtag give the kid a chance.
Exactly.
Media, Ayuk needs to have a big game. Trey said he's going to get him more involved. So,
and he was open pretty much all game. Every time I looked, he was running. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. That's one of the penalties that I hated the most. Like that was such a bullshit. Like that push off. Like his hand, like he didn't even have like a full hand on him or anything. Like it was just like his fingers grazed him as he pushed. Like, are you kidding me?
Denise, of course.
The first game that I watched after that, the next game, they had an offensive pass interference in that game too. So I'm like, this must be a new thing, you know, when the league's like, oh, well, we've been too lax on, you know, like they don't ever call offensive pass interferences. And then like back-to-back games I watch, there's one called. So I'm like, that's going to be the thing that they're calling so much this season. I already see it.
You know, it's all love, Denise. There's nothing wrong with the healthy debate.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
I ordered my TL suntan lotion today.
Yeah. I'm starting to get back to my natural complexion now. I'm getting a little bit lighter. When I first came back from San Diego, I was pretty dark.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all can see it, but look how light my shoulder.
Shit, yeah.
Can you see you can see the difference? It.
Damn.
That's a huge difference.
You're looking like a white guy up there.
Man.
All right, let's go. Let's go stroll through here.
San Diego was awesome. That's probably my favorite city. I would live there if I could afford it.
I'm not gonna look. Let's see who wins. Did one come up?
Nope.
No. All right, let's see.
Mm-mm. Yep, Denise did.
All right, Denise. Congrats. You know what you want, or do you need me to show again? Got one Trey Lance left, the Richard Sherman, Ty Davis Price, 2 Kittles, and then the 3 autographs. What you want?
Yeah, San Diego. Yeah, we went to go eat some good barbecue.
San Diego has hella good food.
Yeah, we went to get some good barbecue. Right, went and chilled right there at Coronado Island. It was awesome, man. I showed the kids the Navy base I was stationed at, so it was pretty cool. It was right there on Coronado Island. Yeah, and Denise wants that Trey Sermon card. Isn't he on the Bears?
He is.
Didn't they pick him up? No, who picked him up? Do you remember? I thought it was the Bears. I know you do, Tanya.
Oh, where was it?
Let me see. I'm gonna find out. I could have sworn it was the Bears, but maybe I'm wrong.
The Trey Eagles, Sermon. I think.
Philadelphia.
Eagles.
Yeah, Philadelphia Eagles. Yep.
Did he answer? I mean, who won? Denise. Denise.
Looking like white, looking white like me. I know my arm up here is super white.
Which card do you want, Denise?
Ty said I'm two-toned. Yeah, Tanya, I used to go out to your uncle. I think it's your uncle or your cousin. I can't remember which one he said. Junior, say how it was to you, what the relationship was. But I used to go to his restaurant all the time down there in San Diego when I was stationed there.
The autographs are Charlie Warner, Ambry Thomas, and Diamador Lenore. I love this.
Your cousin, okay.
This Diamador Lenore card. It's nice.
Your cousin was cool too. Like, you know, even though he was a celebrity, he'd always go into his restaurant, ask how the food was, and talk to you. Like, he was awesome. I miss me some Junior Seahawks. He was a base.
Yeah. That was one of my favorite favorite non-49ers players.
Yeah, he was a beast. Yeah, super humble. 5 Shades of Brown. Yep, I'm a Michigan Wolverines fan.
Me, not really. Like I've been watching Oregon just because that's where I want to move. But you know, obviously being from Vegas, our team here, college team sucks. So
yeah, they're terrible.
My like family, my stepdad, like he's a Oklahoma Sooners fan. So like that's who, you know, like my mom and my siblings are all Sooners fans. But yeah, I mean, Oregon Ducks I follow, or, you know, like California teams. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I'm a Wolverines fan. That's my first love right there. Obviously, I follow Fresno State because that's where I'm. You know, that's where I'm from. And then I was when I played when I played football in high school, I was actually getting recruited by the Washington State Cougars. So I kind of root for them too.
All right. All right, Denise, I saw Trey Lance getting in here. I think everybody picked a Trey Lance card, huh?
I think so. Hey, David McNeil, I got a trivia question for you. Since you're a fan, do you remember in 2005 that Utah had a player go number 1 overall in both the NBA and in the NFL? Did you know that? And if you do, who are the players? I already know Alex Smith is one. Who's the basketball player who went number 1 overall the same year as Alex Smith? Oregon got some crazy looking jerseys sometimes too, because the owner of Nike, that's where he went to college at. Andrew Bogut.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, sir. Yeah, he went to college there. Yeah, Andrew Bogut. You're absolutely right, sir. That's awesome. Yeah, but 2005, Utah had a player go number 1 overall in NFL and NBA. That's crazy, huh, Miriah?
Yeah.
But yeah, Phil Knight went to the University of Oregon, so he donates, and that's why they have so many uniforms and everything's Nike.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Good to know. Learn something new every day.
You do.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, everybody. We appreciate you guys. We'll be back again for the instant reaction show. As soon as the game ends, we'll be here, and Denise will be with us. So you guys can come in here. Denise have her Denise rants. You know that everybody loves those. So
I love them. Yep. I love her rants.
I know everybody's waiting to hear what Denise is going to have to say.
I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I hope there isn't any rants.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Hopefully, it's more good things this week. Hopefully, we don't have nothing to yell about this week.
Exactly.
All right. Much love, fam. Everybody stay safe.
All right, fam. You guys
Spread
take
love.
care. Thank you.
We'll see you guys soon. And I'm gonna close for those that didn't see it on the way out. We'll play it right now for you guys. Check out this from our girl, Shell's Photography. Get hyped for this game. Let's go beat some Seahawks, fam.
That's right.
Niner gang over everything. We out.
See you later, fam.